Somewhere in America right now, a law is being shaped. A politician is changing his vote. A regulation is being quietly buried. And behind almost all of it is a family most people have never heard of. Their name is Koch. And this is the story of how two brothers from Kansas quietly spent over $1 billion buying the future of American democracy, while their pipelines poisoned American rivers, and almost nobody noticed. It starts in 1900. A boy named Fred Koch is born in a dirt-poor Texas town so forgotten it barely exists on a map. His father, a Dutch immigrant who arrived in America with nothing, clawed his way from poverty to newspaper owner through sheer relentless will. Fred watched every step and absorbed every lesson. He studied chemical engineering at MIT and set to work solving one of the oil industry's most valuable problems: how to refine crude oil more efficiently than anyone had done before. He cracked it. His new thermal cracking process was revolutionary. So revolutionary that Standard Oil and Universal Oil Products immediately sued him for patent infringement. 40 lawsuits. 40. Fred Koch won every single one. But winning in court didn't mean winning in the market. The major oil companies blacklisted him, locked him out completely. So Fred Koch looked elsewhere. In 1929, he took a contract from Joseph Stalin's Soviet Union, built oil refineries for the regime, and witnessed up close what a totalitarian state does to human beings: the gulags, the purges, the disappearances. He came home anti-communist to his core. Then, in 1934, he took another contract to build an oil refinery in Hamburg, Germany, for the Nazi regime, a facility that would eventually help fuel Hitler's war machine. His business partner personally met with Hitler to get the deal approved. Fred Koch was not a Nazi. He was an opportunist, a man who built things for whoever would pay. And that shadow, built into the foundation of the family fortune, would follow his sons for the rest of their lives. Fred Koch returned home, built a refinery empire across the American Midwest, became a founding member of the John Birch Society, the most extreme right-wing organization in post-war America, and raised 4 sons with an iron fist. No allowances, no free rides. Work or go without. When Fred died in 1967, he left behind 4 sons who were ferociously ambitious, deeply competitive, and utterly unwilling to share power. Charles Koch took control of the company at 32, methodical, brilliant, driven by a total ideological certainty that he alone understood how the world should work. For a while, brothers David and Bill sat at the table beside him. The company grew. Pipelines, refineries, chemicals, cattle. It expanded into one of the largest private companies in American history. Then the war started. Bill Koch believed Charles was mismanaging the company, diverting funds to his growing political ambitions. In 1980, Bill and eldest brother Frederick attempted a corporate coup. They tried to force Charles out. Charles found out and moved fast. He outmaneuvered them at every turn, consolidated control, and in 1983 bought Bill and Frederick out for $800 million. $800 million. Bill took the money, then immediately sued, claiming he'd been cheated, that the company was worth far more than Charles had represented. The legal war lasted nearly 20 years, hundreds of millions in claims and counterclaims, brother against brother in courtrooms across America. Charles won that too. Bill went on to win the America's Cup yacht race. Frederick disappeared into private art collections and European estates. And Charles and David turned back to the empire. And what they built next would make the family court battle look like a minor distraction. Charles Koch was not just a businessman. He was an ideologue, a committed libertarian who genuinely believed that government regulation and taxation were not just bad economics, they were tyranny. The problem was, most Americans didn't agree with him, so Charles decided to change what Americans believed. He funded university departments, endowed professorships, built think tanks, created legal organizations that challenged environmental rules in court. All of it through a web of foundations and nonprofits specifically designed to make the money impossible to trace. Then, in 2009, A spontaneous seeming grassroots movement erupted across America. Ordinary people in tricorn hats furious about big government. The Tea Party. It was not entirely what it appeared. Investigations by the New Yorker and ProPublica revealed that the Tea Party's organizational backbone had been built and funded largely by Americans for Prosperity, an organization seeded with David Koch's money. They provided activists with targets, talking points, training, coordination. Obama's chief strategist said publicly, "This is a grassroots citizens movement brought to you by a bunch of oil billionaires." In the 2012 election cycle, the Koch network spent over $400 million on political influence. In 2016, they pledged $889 million, more than either major political party spent from their own official campaign committees. And while the political machine ran, Koch Industries was doing something else entirely. Between 1990 and 1997, Koch pipelines leaked 3 million gallons of crude oil into American rivers, lakes, and coastlines across 6 states. In the year 2000, the Justice Department fined Koch Industries $30 million, the largest environmental fine in American history at the time. While simultaneously, Charles Koch was funding organizations fighting to dismantle the very environmental laws his company was breaking. David Koch died in August 2019, prostate cancer. He was 79, worth $42.4 billion. His obituaries were divided. Some celebrated his donations to hospitals and cancer research. Others cataloged the damage his political machine had done to climate legislation, healthcare reform, and democratic accountability. Then came Donald Trump. Charles Koch despised everything Trump represented: the nationalism, the protectionism, the cult of personality. The precise opposite of the libertarian vision he had spent 60 years and billions of dollars building toward. In the 2024 election cycle, the Koch network spent $550 million trying to stop him. They failed. The movement the Koch brothers helped build, the Tea Party, the grassroots anger, the anti-establishment fury, had evolved into something they could no longer control. The monster had turned on its maker. Today, Charles Koch is 90 years old. Koch Industries generates $125 billion in revenue annually. His personal fortune sits at $71 billion. And somewhere right now, a law is being shaped. A politician is deciding how to vote. A university professor is framing an argument. Behind it, a name, invisible, patient, certain. Koch. The most dangerous power is never wielded by people who know they are doing wrong. It is wielded by people who are absolutely certain they are doing right. Power Bloodlines. We'll see you on the next one.